Interleaving is another research-based best practice that encourages students to utilize skills from multiple units or from different parts of our learning and weave them together. This works great as you're preparing for any sort of final exam or summative assessment. I really like using interleaving and choice boards to support my students in using different skills in my classroom. So here is an example of a sophomore choice board where my students read an independent book, and I wanted them to apply their skills in a variety of ways. So in an English classroom, literacy involves reading, writing, speaking, and listening. And so this assignment encourage them to apply all of those skills to our final project here. And so as you look here, what I love about a choice board is it gives me the flexibility as the instructor to decide what choices they have and to support and guide them in all completing the same skills as well. And so for me, when I do a choice board, I usually have a must-do assignment where students are all doing the same assessment, but then I give them that flexibility and choice to demonstrate mastery in a variety of ways. So here, they all have to complete a critique, and so I've got a template there for them. They all have to do a podcast as well. So I'm getting those writing skills and I'm getting those speaking skills applied for them. Then I let them get creative. I've got a lot of artists in my class, so encouraging them to create a comic strip or to write a newspaper article, create a song. There's so many fun things that students can do. And as you can see, I've linked in a lot of different choices in terms of the technology or the tools that they can use to help support them as they demonstrate that mastery. Now, as the instructor, when it comes to interleaving these different skills, there's so many different ways you can apply this to different subject matters, but you want to make sure that the evaluation piece is really key and consistent across all different types of projects. And so for me here, I've got my rubric. It's a 100-point assignment. They are going to tell me which choices they made. And again, I'm assessing the same skills on their creativity, their organization, their ability to apply the content, and meeting all the criteria, which looks a little bit different depending on what choice they made. Then they're all doing the critique, so I've got that consistency across the board as well. They're all doing that podcast for a total of 100 points. So be really intentional about how you create your rubrics to make sure that it's focused on skills and focused on content, and your students will be able to apply all of those skills over a long period of time, so they're interleaving those connections there in your classroom. Interleaving skills can also be applied in a think, pair, share model, and I actually built a choice board. This is actually for teachers, but it can be applied to students as well. When it comes to choice boards, we want to empower our students to use their voice and to demonstrate their mastery in ways that are really applicable to them. However, in this particular Think, Pair, Share, I give students a couple of different ways that they can learn the material, and so this is really great for differentiated instruction. Then I'm bringing everybody together to have that conversation, and they can share out in a variety of ways of what they've learned. So kind of hacking the system in terms of a choice board here, using these different frameworks allows me to guide my students, but also encourage them to review different parts of our learning together. This would work really nicely, especially if if you're assessing a semester's worth of work. You can have students go back and revisit specific chapters or skills. You can bring them back together and then have them share out what they've learned, which is a great way to encourage students to review multiple units of content together. So get creative with choice boards and use this to support interleaving in your classroom.